Okay, let's talk about ticketing. All right, so ticketing is a means by which you as a host can create a ticketed event, something that you can track the amount of people that are coming in, see analytics and where they're coming from, and manage a page basically where you can talk a little bit about your festival, your conference, give instructions, and have people check out. Not only that, but you can also have vendors apply directly to your ticketing event. So, for example, we have over here the MFC Ramadan Festival in 2026. Clicking on that, this is an example of a page that is live today, and with their logo, with a description, time, date, and a location. And on this page, vendors can register and apply to be part of this festival by clicking Become a Vendor. If they do not have an account, they'll have to create one. And then attendees can choose different ticket options that the host has provided through our platform and go ahead and check out and purchase tickets. So we're going to go ahead and go through that. As you can see, my current vendor specifically has already clicked apply to this event by clicking Become a Vendor. And you can see that on the page says complete your vendor application. So let's go ahead and start. And so when in the vendor dashboard, you can see complete your vendor application. Very few criteria to really complete it. Just needs your profile picture and description, a little bit about your business. Upon submitting that, you're pretty much clear to go, and you can pay your application fee. Now, some hosts choose to have a approval system in order to accept or reject different vendors that they see fit to come to their event. And so there is a process for that. So in that case, you would see something slightly different. Okay, so I'm a vendor and I want to apply to a festival or a conference or something that I'm interested in, and I want to make sure that my brand and my business is there. How do I do that? So first things first is you're going to want to go to the event itself's page, their landing page, for in this case, for example, the Artist High Summit that I just created as an example. It's right here, and this is the event page. So if I have a vendor account, I can click Become a Vendor. But in this case, what's going to happen is I'm logged out. I am no vendor, so I'm going to create a vendor live for you to see how easy it is. So I'll click Become a Vendor, and you'll see this create this vendor account. And so what we'll do is we're going to say Bob at the Murray's, no, let's say Bob's Burgers, ATL.com. And just for trademark's sake, let's say Bob's Burgers. Let's just call it like Faraz's Burgers, right? ATL.com. We'll put a password in. Oops. Cool. And we'll just say Faraz Ahmed. And let's go ahead and put a business name. So we'll say Faraz's Burgers. Category is going to be catering. And a little business description. We make the best burgers in ATL. Right. And let's put a profile picture, our picture of our business, and just gonna put that fall festival logo, unfortunately, but that's just kind of what I got right now. Alrighty, let's go ahead and create an account. Cool. All right, and you see the message there that says you're awaiting approval. Your event application is pending approval. You'll be able to check out once approved by the event host, and you can see that this thing is disabled, and you can't check out or do anything until you're approved. And again, this is by design, right? As you saw when we created the event in the last video, or the last section, really, we put vendor approval on, meaning the host has to approve in order for us to be accepted. And so if you go into our dashboard that we have here, again, this is the new account that I created, you'll see that complete your event application, you started applying, finish your application, and really you're waiting for approval before you can start paying. So you'll get notification in your platform right here. You'll also get it through email. And that approval email, if you're approved, will have the checkout link. So you can check out and you'll be able to see that. So let's go ahead and do that. But how do we get started with ticketing? So right here on the vendor dashboard, if you wanted to host your own ticketing event, you'd click on ticketing right here. And let's go ahead and start from scratch. Let's go ahead and create a new event. And we're going to call this the, Artist High Summit 2026. And you can just select whatever category that you want. I'm just going to call it a festival for now. And I'm going to say there's around 200 to 500 guests, and the budget's around 25 to 50,000. So let's go ahead and create this event. As you can see, we've created a base template of this event. And now what we can do is actually add some details. So let's go ahead and upload a flyer for example, we'll go ahead and use this one for another event just for this description. I'm going to use the one that the Atlanta Muslim Fall Collective is using for their 2026 event, coming up very soon, by the way, on February 27th to 28th, 2026. And then, so a little bit of description about this. So we're going to say this is a fantastic event. Fantastic event for artists from all around the world. All right. And yeah, you can actually custom brand it as well with a background color, the text color as well. You can do custom email templates for as far as what emails get sent out when someone registers right here. We're going to avoid that for now. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and put an address in. And so I'm going to put an address like 507, Ashley Lakes Drive, for example, in Peachtree Corners. And we're going to say that this event begins on January 30th, 2026 at 5 p.m. It's going to end at 9. And then you can select that here and change those options. And we are going to go ahead and enable vendors for our event. So we want vendors to be able to apply to our event. This is where we can list our price. How much do we need to charge in order for vendors to be reasonable to come to our event? For example, I'm going to charge $500. And if we want that approval process that I was mentioning, this is what we'll be doing. We'll toggle this on. This will allow you to have a little choice of the vendors that do come to your platform before they pay. So they apply, you can see, approve, and reject them, and we'll go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. And you can also enable paid tickets. For example, this could be a free event for normal people, for normal attendees, but we're going to make this a paid event. So when you do paid tickets, I'm going to do a ticket type. So I'll say early bird, and I want to do $15. And I'm going to say this is an early bird admission ticket. Cool. And you can put a max quantity if you'd like. So all these details are in. You've got the description, the logo, a few different details. So let's go ahead and create ticketing. And what you're going to see is that you have this page created under ticketing that says Artist High Summit 2026. If you have other events, you can actually select them right here. And on this page, this is your overview. This is your one-stop shop to see little details about your event. So you'll see your total revenue that you've earned through this event from here. You'll see the total amount of attendees that have applied and bought tickets. You'll also see things like how many vendors have paid fully, how many pending applications there are, and the total revenue from vendors specifically. So you can see that differentiation between attendees and vendors as well. You can click on them and to see the differences. So right here on the signups page, as well as clicking here, you can see that you have pending vendors. You can see data there if there are some registered vendors and attendees. And this overview over here, this is where you have a QR code generated just for you for your event. You can use it in your marketing material. And this QR code takes you directly to the event URL. Furthermore, you can copy the link if you need the link to share to others. And you can see recent sign up. To see your event, what it looks like, the one we just created, let's go ahead and click open. And it says registration is not available. And so this is by design. So basically, until you can toggle on and off registration as you see fit. So let's say you don't want any more people buying tickets or you're not ready yet to be exposed. You can go ahead and by default it's disabled. So even though we're at that link, registration is not available. So we're going to go ahead and enable it by clicking enable signups. There we go. And let's go ahead and reload this page. And here we go. Here is the Artist High Summit 2026, even though I'm using, again, another logo by another festival that's coming in 2026. So keep an eye on that, Atlanta. And so we have the details here. We have the Google Maps location. And here's our early bird ticket. And here's our become a vendor. Okay, so I'm back in my other vendor account right now. And I'm going to go ahead and go to ticketing. And as you can see, there's this kind of like bell icon right here that says 2 applications pending approval. So you'll see notifications of that too, like a new booking request. But you'll also see it right here as well. So you can see that there's 1 application pending approval. And so make sure your correct event is selected. Again, I have a few different events that might have ticketing. And so I can click directly on 1 pending application. And right away, what you can see is for Burger, he applied and it's pending. And so I'm going to go ahead and approve him. And that is pretty much it. Vendor application approved. They can now check out. And so Faraz will receive an email to his inbox by which he can go ahead and check out via Stripe. And let's go ahead and check what that looks like right now. Okay, we're back. So it has the checkout link in the email, but also you can do it from the vendor dashboard. So we're going to go ahead and click pay application fee. And it says phone number is required for vendor application, just so the vendor can go ahead and contact you. So what we're going to do is go to our business profile right here. And this is where you can fill in different kinds of information for your live Cenvi profile. You don't have to be live at this time in order to fill this out, but you can go to contact and hours and click edit contact and go ahead and put your number. So in this case, I'll do my real number, of course. Click save changes. Oh. And website is cenvi.events. Cool. Go ahead and save changes. It should let me now apply. So let's go pay this out. And there we go. We can go ahead and check out, and thus completes your ticketing journey.